Yeah, you guys are shared. Yeah, your voices are
Alright,
shared.
perfect.
Okay, cool. So Slaps, the 6GL Finest Show, your host with OffGrid 2K, who had a rocky start to the 6GL season, starting off 1-8, and has explosively came up and put a whopping W on every game they've played since. Coming into the mid-season tiers tournament, the Battle of the Tiers tournament is a tournament based on the season stats win percentage per team, where we have a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, where it gives teams motivation to move up in their tiers, catch a few dubs if it's been hard for them to, get a few games in with some of the other teams and solidify that playoff spot. So I'm here now with Stonebreaker 45 and Rockies, and they are here to talk about their brand Off Grid, who is actually on Xbox and PS4 and is making an impact and also has a coach. So you don't hear too many teams out there that have a coach. So I'd like to really dig into this coach topic and hear it from you guys, Rockies and Stone, about Coach Lance over there putting some work in with your team that really helped with the turning point in the round one of the 6GL Battle of the Tiers tournament.
Should I go? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can start first, Rocky.
Okay, Rocky, go
So
ahead, take
I
it.
feel like I've been a part of I've had the opportunity to be with Lance since the start of this 2K. We've had multiple championship runs, and I feel like what he brings different to the table as opposed to every other team is that he dissects each and everything that we do, whether it be on defense or offense. And so he gets on everyone. Everyone. It includes the lock, the center, the PG. Everybody has their tendencies, and he tries to make them have the right mindset. So me as a point guard, I'm kind of like I'm more of a scorer. I don't really look to pass, but he's giving me that insight to kind of like see and give me like these little hints and things like that to see what I could do better and how I could improve my passing game. And things like that really help in terms of late game situations.
Somebody's
I think
mic's
his
going a
mic is
little
messing.
choppy. Stone.
Yeah, Stone, I think he's your mic.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
like I was saying, in late game situations, the reason why we couldn't close out is because if I get double teamed, I usually never knew what to call from that point because I felt like I treated myself like the hero, and that's what kind of held us back a little bit. But with him kind of dissecting these plays, I started to see it in a different perspective. And my teammates talk to me. I constantly in game talk to my center. Me and him, the whole game, just talk to each other. So communicating and kind of like building a base game plan that we can go off of is what Lance kind of brought us to. So we appreciate him for that, and obviously you see the results of that.
We did see the results of that, most definitely.
most most
A-
definitely for real.
And Stone, you're the you seem like you're the matchup, the captain of the brand over there of the PS4
Yeah.
side. How's it been for you in the process, adapting and adjusting to these different game situations that been put into throughout the season?
Throughout the season, in the beginning, coming into the mix, I wasn't expecting to be captain. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Um, but I was picked up, and I felt that I just wanna, I want everybody to be on the same page. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm not cool to talk with. I'm not a cool guy, whatever, whatever. But I wanted all of us to be as a unit. And when we first came into the league, we had a lot to work on, honestly. And I also myself had a lot to work on as a captain, as a leader, you know, and to help my guys make the better read per se. Sometimes I may have to let Rocky know, you could have did a little different. You could have did a different thing right there. You didn't have to shoot that shot, or vice versa. He would tell me what the PGs their tendencies is looking like, and it's just been it's just been blowing off since then. There's been the sky's the limit for us right now, because it's only because of Lance. To be honest with you, because that film review, and we had about three so far this season, maybe four, honestly. But those film reviews really dissected us individually and as a unit because it showed us that what were our weakest and what was our strongest points. There were a couple of times, second, third quarter, where we would go on a run, and then one bad shot, we would sigh, we would huff, we would argue mid game, and then by the time the game over, we lose. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So just I'm making sure I'm giving it to you raw. Just the film review alone, and him telling us support one another, like build each other up, help each other, in times of adversity. Because there's sometimes Rocky may need that pick me up, like yo, come on, Rocky, me and you. I always say that to Rocky, whether if I'm playing center or whether if I'm playing like, all right, Rocky, me and you right here. Let's get it. Let's get this work. Let's make this run right here. Let's make a statement this quarter. Let's do what we need to do. 'Cause we all know what we need to do on the court. We all learned our roles through the
Mm-hmm.
film review, and
Mm-hmm.
now these upcoming games ahead of time, and even recently, we now see, because of his knowledge, because of OffGrid giving us the tips, we now see us as a unit working together and real seeing the floor open up in front of our eyes from him for his knowledge. It's just been going off. Like it's fun. I enjoy playing with my guys. Me and Rocky, we have a blast, and we come with that energy from as soon as the quarter start. And we
Mm-hmm.
get riled up. Maybe we get a block, a dunk. Yeah, I'm cheering my guys up, and now we're all motivated. Like we don't sigh, we don't huff and puff. We have our days. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not saying we perfect,
Mm-hmm.
but we together. We win together and we lose together, and then we
As a
learn from
unit.
it
Mm-hmm.
as a unit.
Now I've popped into quite a few of your streams over the 6GL season, and I've heard the vibes inside of your guys' chat, and as a team, and the vibes inside of your stream, you definitely got to check it out. It's twitch.tv/Stonebreaker45, Stonebreaker all in caps. And if you check these
Sir,
guys, if you check these guys play, I mean the vibes, the hype inside of the Twitch streams, it's amazing to watch win or lose on the high or the low, and these guys working together off stream. Now, the main question that I want to get at here is I know you guys are always vibing and you guys are always hyped. So there's got to be a hype man on the court for your team. There's got to be a floor general for you guys on the team. There's always this defensive guy on your team. If you were to give your guys, like, if you were to name out each role for one of your guys on the court and why you've given them that role, could you please do that for me? Just to kind of let everybody know, kind of everybody's role on the team, like Rocky's, yourself, who's the floor general, who's the hype man, and kind of lay it
you
out
go
on the.
first, Rocky.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest here. I feel like the person who holds the composure of our team, I would say, is Dallas,
Yeah.
or
Okay.
Young Lad.
Mhm.
Dallas holds us down when things are getting rough. So it's usually around the fourth quarter, 2 minute mark, where we might do something that's or the other team might just play really good defense, and we'll get down on ourselves. I'll get down on myself for a turnover or something. He'll be like, all right, guys, we gotta stay composed. We gotta win this game. Just stay composed. And that's what I feel like Dallas does.
Mhm.
What I feel like Stone does is that he brings that energy on defense. He's constantly kind of like pushing the point guard, the opposing point guard, to do something different. He always calls out things that he notices that we should do better. He's always on the person letting the backdoors go, because whenever somebody lets a backdoor go, that's the end of you. So he definitely calls that out.
Yep.
Um, I feel like another person I need to shout out for that is Dion. Dion is constantly on every single person. If you do something wrong, he will call it out. He is that person that doesn't care about, oh, he's going to think this or he's going to think that. It's there given to you raw, and it's no other way.
Mhm.
J-Dubs, I feel like he brings a different vibe that during the game, he always kind of breaks down the game for us. He's doing this, that guy's doing that. He tells us the tendencies the other team's doing. And he always calls out when certain things are open. He's kind of the eyes of the court when I'm focused on the lock. So he always calls those things out. And yeah, I think that's about like, well, another thing is Marquis. Marquis, you guys haven't seen a lot of, but what Marquis does different is that whenever Marquis needs to get a bucket, he always goes out and performs.
Mhm.
We always got each other's backs. So whenever I'm down, I'm not scoring. He always picks me up and he scores. And so that motivates me to keep going. And we're always competitively like, all right, I got you, Marky. Let's get this, Marky. Like back and forth so we can
Your
get things
dynamic
done.
duo in the my team section.
Yeah,
There you
definitely.
go. Yep.
Dynamic duo, without a
Mhm.
doubt.
Mhm. Okay. So you guys got a good little squad. Stone, why don't you go off and you talk a little bit about the team, and you tell the viewers, because that's really what they're here for, is you guys here tonight. Team of the week last week. They definitely deserve team of the week, and we will definitely see a huge playoff push from this team. So let's see what kind of steps you're making towards that, and kind of hear a little bit more about your team, the success and the drive from you guys yourself.
Okay, so as for the hype, man, you already know, I know it's me. Like, I bring that energy. If somebody gets a block, a steal, or even a crazy dunk, I'm hyping them up. I always hype my boy Rocky over here up, especially when he hits them greens. Like, come on, Rocky, you can fry this guy. Come on, go crazy, bro. I always be telling him, like, go crazy. I'm gonna get the stops, just go crazy. And then Lad is the calmest dude on the court. Like, for him to get mad, that must be we really doing something bad. But Lad is the calmest dude on the court. Like I feel like no offense to Rocky, he's like the floor general because his IQ is amazing. Like there was a couple plays during them tournaments that we played in where Lad really stepped up and showed us like, hey, this is what we gonna do. And we ain't believe it at first, but when you see how it worked out in the end, it's like, wow, yo, this is crazy. So he's definitely the floor general, great center to play with. And the one thing I can say with all of us as a unit, we all communicate. Like that's one thing that I love about this team. We always are talking. Like there's never a quarter where we're really silent. We just always talking to each other offensively and defensively. And then J Dubs, the vibe that he brings, he's the chill. He's kind of chill on the court too. He doesn't say much, but as Rocky says, he definitely sees the court from defensively and offensively. Like he'll call out, "Yo, Stone has a back door," or "I have a back door." The PG on me. I have a back door. Just let me know when to go. And he's a dagger from the corner. Stop leaving my man J Does wide open. He's gonna light y'all up. Now, then the next person that I'm gonna bring up is my boy Dion. Me and Dion have been playing together for a minute, so bringing him to the mix was exciting because I knew like he was gonna be that six man that was really gonna make some noise for us when we needed him the most. And during them tournament series, he definitely showed what he could do. He's a little rowdy, I'm not gonna lie. Like he beats it into us. Like he lets us know like, yo, can't do this, can't do that. What are you doing? Because that's when I sit back and let him be the defensive anchor, and I just do what I gotta do, and we just work like whatever he's doing. I'm on the same page as well. Like I already got an idea with where he's trying to lead to the PG. Oh, you leading the PG to my corner? Bet I'm about to go for this pinch right here, and then it's instant communication on the break. Boom, ball right there. Put him in the rim. Like it's see, I'm getting excited thinking about it because that's my guy. But all of these dudes are my guys. Like we really is making some noise out here, and it's great that we're able to all play together under this organization because a lot of people sleep on us in the community, like we're all a lot of different names where if you toss it out in the community, it's like, what? But then when you see us on the court and then we smoke y'all, then it's like, oh, bro, it might be alright. You know how the community is. They'll be like, he asked, but they never want to, give credit. So I give credit to all my guys for playing with me and for playing for the OffGrid brand. I give credit to Lance, the coach, because he united all of us together to, make these steps into bettering ourselves as individuals and as players.
Hmm. That's great. I love your guys' brand. I love your guys' streams. And what I really wanted to get into, are any of you guys striving to go towards the NBA 2K League? Do all of you guys have the same goals in mind? What are you guys out there? Are you guys out there to have fun? Are you guys out there to make a competitive impact on the community as a brand? What are your main goals as off-grid and the players on your team, coming out into all of these different leagues and into these competitive styles, are you looking for?
I'm gonna start on this real quick, Stone.
Go
Um,
ahead, bro.
So I feel like in terms of like wanting to prove something, a lot of us have different goals. I know some people want to go to the league in their team. I'm not one of them because I'm going to be a dentistry student soon, so I'm focusing on that as my career path. But I
Mm-hmm.
love being competitive, And from the first time I joined OffGrid, I feel like we left something unfinished, and we left it at the finals at the game 5 with 1 point. We lost. So I just feel like there's unfinished business, and we need to prove to the community what we can do. And I gotta get this team a chip because it won't it won't settle with me well if I just leave this abandoned. Um, so that's just the biggest thing for me at least.
Mm. Okay. And Stone?
For me, to be honest with you, for me, it's the 2K League that I'm really striving for. Whether if it's
Okay.
to play lock or to play the 4 spot, I just wanna. And the reason why I wanna strive to be in the league is because I wanna compete, but
Mhm.
also I just wanna show that even no names in the community can make it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like even though I don't have a lot of clout, I could make some noise with the group that I'm with right now to possibly lead somewhere into me, maybe even getting a draft spot. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like it's all about these new challenges, little by little, and then you just knock one off as you get better. Definitely do want the chip for off grid brand. We gotta make some noise because a lot of people were sleeping, and
And you are making noise, and I think a lot of people are waking up. We were talking a little bit before stream about the stats guy mentioning to me on a consistent basis about off grid slowly coming up into the rankings, where it gets to the point where the board of directors are now bringing up off grid's name, and you guys are definitely striving for that playoff spot, and have pretty much solidified your guys' self a playoff spot, a guaranteed spot in the playoffs. So I mean, there's your big break to get that chip for your guys' shoulder and put it up there and wave it above your head and get that $500 bread pot. So, I mean, if that's what you guys are there for, the chip, and that's what it's about for the brand, and of course you guys have your own. Of course, goals inside in mind as well, and Six Gaming League is here to help you obtain those goals in the best possible way that we can.
right. Appreciate y'all having us, man. Like it's
I mean,
this
this is
league.
a
The league is
Canadian
fun.
league, and I'm a Canadian, so you already know how I feel about
Oh,
this.
you're Canadian?
I'm
Where are you
from
from?
Vancouver.
Oh, you're from Vancouver. Okay, so you need to come down to the Raptors GC tournaments that they host.
Yeah, I know those be going pretty crazy. I'm from Toronto originally, but I moved to Vancouver recently, and yeah,
Play play for
it's
play for
Canadian,
6GL
Canadian
squad. They
love.
made the semifinals or they made the finals actually last season at the Bell Five.
Oh
So that was,
wow.
yeah.
Oh, you're talking about high key in them, right?
We played D Hugs, DeVillain. We played Witness the Grind, and it was 6GL squad with MV6 God, Classic Loke, Joshua J, who's now he plays for the Cavs. And we also had on the team Simba the Problem and Ryan Flores. So it was kind of cool in the finals because DeVillain was on the other side and Ryan Flores was DeVillain's cousin. So it was kind of cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So you definitely got to show up for one of those because those tournaments are really cool. I mean, especially if you're looking to if they're doing it the same way, get out on a league building, get that experience. That's where you're gonna want to fly out. I mean, I suggest that to anybody actually. I mean, if you're New York, if you're anywhere, I mean, fly out and hit one of those tournaments, or even hit any one of the. If Brooklyn Nets does it, if the Grizz do it, I mean, that's where you're
Absolutely.
really going to get some great experiences hitting one of those NBA 2K League tournaments. But yeah, man, I'm glad to hear that you're from Toronto. That's really cool. And I wanted to let you guys know that Six Gaming League its management is half built Canadian, half built the American. And Icy Girl is a former top 150 player, as well as Dead Shadow 781 is a top 250. So a lot of the players that are in
I
management,
know Dead Shadow. Yeah.
yeah, have had a taste, if being at the draft spot and stuff. So, I mean, we're trying to try and bring that experience into Six Gaming League so that people can kind of follow in the same footsteps or see what they kind of did to get them to the draft spot and see if they can maybe land themselves a spot on a team or maybe even get themselves in the draft. So, best of luck to you guys. Especially
Appreciate
you,
that.
Stone, and good luck to you, Rockies, on the dental. And I hope to see you in Toronto this year.
Appreciate it
come
for
down,
sure.
and definitely we'll do a live interview in person. That'd be pretty cool. But
Yeah, that'll be
yeah, man,
solid.
that was it's awesome, man. I really appreciate you guys coming out on the show, and love to see some more season action, and can't wait to see what you guys bring for the playoffs.
Of course, we about to make some
Appreciate
noise in
it.
the playoff. Yo, thank you for having us. And thank
Yeah,
you
no
for
problem.
having the
Yeah, for
OffGrid
sure.
brand in the league. And thank you for giving us,
Platform stories and tell these other teams that are kind of down to like just keep pushing for it. Obviously we haven't reached our goal yet, but it just tells you that if you keep working on your teammates and believing in your teammates, you'll eventually start to get on an upwards trend and reach the
Hmm.
goals you want to.
And I think a lot of teams should take some notes.
yeah,
It's funny
don't
because
give up on your
we have a take
teammates.
notes team in our leagues, but yeah, no pun intended. But yeah, take some take some take some notes from these guys because not a lot of teams use coaches, and I think the coach is a great aspect for your guys' team because look at it right then and there, a rocky start. Coach sits down with you guys, throws some gameplay footage for you guys, and look at what happens. I mean, you see it at the same thing in the league from a lot of the successful teams. And any team in the league is they're going to sit down and watch gameplay footage. It comes with any sports organization, and I think you guys are taking the first steps and the right steps on that one. So, hats off to you for that one.
I appreciate it, man. Shout out to Lance. Shout out to Dion. Me shout out to OffGrid roster. I hope you don't mind. But shout out to Dion. Shout out to Dallas, young Dallas. Shout out to J Dubs. Stop leaving him wide open in that corner.
Green beans.
Shout out, yeah, Green Bean. Shout out to my boy Rocky, of course. No, shout out to Marquis. Marquis don't really get, as Rocky said, Marquis. You haven't seen Marquis yet, but you're gonna be seeing more of him. He makes a little bit of noise. That's my shooting guard right there. Love that dude. Finally, shout out to the OffGrid brand. Shout out to everybody in the community that's tuning in right now. Appreciate y'all. Keep watching.
Keep watching, keep grinding, and we'll catch you
Yeah,
next
grind don't
time, man.
stop. Yes, sir.
Keep watching, keep grinding. We'll catch you next time, man. And that's 6G out. We out.